On day 2, I made a video about 10 reasons why I love my wife. Now, a lot of marketers might find that to be a strange move from a daily video vlog. Let's talk about marketers. Marketers are a really strange bunch. There's really good marketers, there's really crappy marketers, there's marketers that sell snake oil and others that are really data-driven. There's all sorts of marketers. And marketers have all sorts of advice. For instance, you've probably heard the advice, you really need to know who your audience is. And I think that's really great advice, but oftentimes it's kind of coupled as a vague assertion of something that you should be able to do. And here's the tough part. When you first start out, you don't really have an audience. You may have a desired audience of who you want to reach, but you don't have an actual audience that you know that much about. By contrast, when you have a large audience, the data is going to be more free-flowing. You're going to get to learn a lot more about the different people that are consuming your content, reading your blog, opening your emails, etc. However, even among the most well-developed and well-defined audiences, let's say you have customer personas, there still exists a multitude of audiences within your actual audience. So for instance, this vlog, this YouTube channel, has less than 100 subscribers at present. I know that within that 100 people, there's at least 3 or 4 different types of audiences. I follow tons of different YouTube channels. Vsauce, Veritasium, Rationality Rules. I could go on and on. Each of those have a fairly well-defined audience, or at least thematically you would have a kind of assumption of who watches it. But inside of each of those, there's still multiple different types of audiences. So I think the bigger thing is about having a theme that resonates with a lot of different types of audiences and be willing to flow in and out with types of content that speak to individual parts of that audience. So for instance, on my day 2 video, when I made the video about the top 10 reasons why I love my wife, it was for an audience of 1, my wife. Whereas day 3, where I talked about text expander and cheat sheet and different apps you could use for productivity, was for a larger marketing audience, but not really as much for my wife. So I think the main point that you want to think about is how can you stick to a particular theme or style that allows you to reach multiple audiences. And it's something that I'm going to be working on as I continue to do this day-to-day vlog thing. I don't know what I'm going to talk about from day to day. I'm writing down different ideas. I'm thinking about what's most valuable. I'm getting feedback from some of the comments people are leaving, things that people tweet to me or post on, or say in the comments on Facebook. And I'm going to take all that to heart and figure out what this is going to be about. But I think a lot about audiences. And I think if you're a content creator, maybe you should too. And don't necessarily just take the common advice that everyone's told you. Get to know your audience, but in the beginning, just try to build an audience.